Welcome back, and on this lesson we are still focused on getting the product right. We talked about branding in the previous lesson. Today we're going to talk about your photography as part of your product package, and essentially your photography is your USP. What is a USP? A USP is your unique selling point. This is an example of my photography, just to let you show you the kind of styles that made our photography stand out from other people. This is probably one of the last weddings we ever did. Black and white image, stunning bride. This was shot, people asked me if this was at night time or anything. This was actually shot on an extremely sunny day. Just simple background, some foliage behind her, and it's all here. It was all about the posing and getting that bridal gown perfectly laid out. Another one from a wedding at a castle. It's actually Linlithgow Palace, not a castle, beg your pardon, Linlithgow Palace. Very posed image. Bride is posed, very refined posing, which was, to be honest, a lot of it was down to my wife Morag, who used to help with this kind of stuff. With the just stunning wedding dress, beautiful image. That actual last image was only, we used to sell a 60-inch by 40-inch frame in our studio, and it was £1,500 we sold it for. And that bride bought that particular image. We did an image at the palace, exact same place there, with the bride and groom, and then one with just the bride for that image that you can see. And the bride chose the one with just her in it, and that's a 60-inch frame that she bought and hangs in her house. So it was all about her, obviously. And this next image, bride in a little bridge, a venue near St Andrews. Again, we call these images weddings with wow. We just wanted images that stood out. This was our USP, and I hope you can see that in these images. Again, a venue in Edinburgh, using a bit of Photoshop to change the colour tones at the top of the sky to match the colours below. This is if you look at a colour wheel, you'll see it blue and yellow oranges are opposite sides of colour wheels, so they always work well together. Blue and those two colours work well, and that made that image stand out. I love that image, one of my favourites. And same venue, same couple, library. Again, this is not just about I always wanted to make images that a bride and groom would be happy to hang on their wall. People would say, "Oh, I don't want to put a big image of us in our living room because people say, yeah, I love me, who do you love?" type of thing. Where if you have an image like that, where the bride and groom are quite small within the image, they're not immediately. It's almost like bride and groom in a landscape type image, and that's why I wanted to always create images like that as well, so they'd be quite happy to hang them up in their living room. And then this was our advertising that we used to use. Weddings with wow. It was just pick out these wow. This is quite an early advert, and again, I look back at these. You can always find faults in your own adverts, and sometimes you look at colours layer. And I wish the top two images blended in more colour-wise with the bottom and side images, which were more kind of orangey tones. I would have had orangey tones. So you always look at these kind of things in your advertising. But again, our images stood out quite well from other photographers because it was our USP. We put so much effort into getting these right. So, defining your USP. What's your USP going to be? Your unique selling point. What makes you different from other photographers? What makes your photography different? It needs to stand out from the crowd. It needs to jump off the page at your clients. Right? What's different about it? Are you a great documentary photographer? I think probably every wedding photographer that ever starts probably says, yeah, I'm a documentary wedding photographer, because one, they don't know how to pose anybody, and two, it's going to be easy, right? I just take hundreds of snaps and eventually I'll find some good ones. Yeah, that's fine. Trust me, there's good documentary photographers and there's everybody else, right? Just because you take candid photographs, it does not make you a good documentary photographer. A good documentary photographer tells a story in every single image. That's the difference with a documentary photographer, and that's why a good documentary photographer will always stand out from everybody else. Now, I think it's important to stress here, you do not need to be a great photographer, right? There are hundreds of starving artists, brilliant artists out there that can't sell a picture because they're brilliant artists but terrible business people. We need to flip this on our head. We need to be brilliant business people and just good at photography. You don't have to be great, you just need to be good, right? If you're self-taught, please go and spend some time to teach you some more with somebody else, right? It's easy to say I'm self-taught, yeah, I went on YouTube, I learned this, I learned that. Till you sit down with somebody, another photographer, until you actually get some of the things, I was self-taught at the beginning. I'd been a photographer all my life. I'd picked up cameras since I was a kid and always had a camera in my hand. So when it came to doing wedding photography, I thought, yeah, I know how to take photographs. I don't need to go and learn anything. And I did that for the first 6 months, and then I went and actually on a training course with a photographer just to see what they did. And it opened my eyes completely. There was so much stuff I thought I knew I didn't know. So please, don't let your ego limit your potential. You may think you're great at what you do in your photography. Please, just swallow your pride. Go and do a course on photography just to see what it's like, and you'll be amazed what you might learn. Study other photographers. What work jumps out the page at you and why, right? Is it the posing? Is it the lighting? Is it the type of processing? It can be something as simple as that. You may have a particular processing style. That's part of your USP. So you need to invest in your business. Take for a class with somebody you admire. Join a professional society. Seek out awards and qualifications. Qualifications are great for getting free PR, and if you ever win any competitions, it's so easy to get nice free advertising from that. In the UK, we've got groups like the societies, SWPP they used to be called, MPA, Master Photographers Association, BIPP, and in the States you've got PPA and the WPPI, and there's others. Joining these groups can be great for your photography. Remember, you only get out what you're willing to put in, but if nothing else, it's a great social thing to do. You'll meet other photographers. Attend the annual conventions of these organisations. The societies run one in London every year. Obviously it was off past couple of years because of COVID, and it just had it again this year, which is great to see it back. I used to go there every year. I used to speak there regularly. Wonderful event, socially amazing. You make so many friends in photography, and that's good for your business because it's part of just networking and learning from others. There's also a convention in Las Vegas every year that the WPPI do as well. I'd urge you to look at these things and go along. So, I'm saying help to find your own USP by looking at the work of others. People that I admire in the industry. Damien McGillicuddy. Damien's a wonderful chap, and he used to always refer to his courses as edutainment, because he's a bit of a character as well as Damien, and it's a laugh a minute when you're at Damien's studios. If you ever see Damien doing a course on photography, if you're in the UK, just jump at it. He's an amazing tutor, wonderful photographer, just stunning work. Jerry Guionis. Jerry's based in the States. I think he's originally Australian or based in Australia. Now lives over in the States. I think he spent time in Vegas and Beverly Hills. Very high-end wedding photographer. Stunning work. Jerry's, I've been to a couple of Jerry's things, and he's really big on posing and also getting emotions from a bride. The way he can actually get a bride in tears, just the way he speaks to them, is just wonderful at what he does. Trevor and Faye Yerbury. Trevor and Faye are based in Scotland, and Trevor is actually from a long line of family photographers that goes back to the 1800s. had a photography studio back in one of the earliest photography studios in the country, and Trevor and Faye's work is just outstanding, just stunning work. Look at their study what they do. Brett Florence, working photographer, working wedding photographer, wonderful guy, stunning work as well. Have a look at his website. Jonas Peterson, American, I believe. Again, great work, very, very stylised. You'll see as part of his USP is his processing and stuff. It's beautiful, beautiful images. Look at people like this and study what they do and pick things out and see what bits of that I like and what would I like to put into my photography. But remember, keep it real. I mean, Jerry Gonis, you know, we're not going to be a Jerry Gonis. You might have that natural talent, but these guys have got natural talent just oozing out their body. And remember what I said at the beginning, we've got to fake it till we make it. So part of your USP is also, it's elevating your work. So making an effort to get your work better and better and better. And this is a list of some of the things that we did. We did our licentiateship qualification with SWPP. Started entering competitions. Actually was very lucky to win the Member Choice Wedding Photography Year back in 2010. We were finalists in Wedding Bells Wedding Photograph of the Year, MPA Scottish Region. We were most promising photographer in both the portraits and the classic and contemporary portraits, and the most promising overall Scottish photographer of the year. I then got my licentiate with the NPA. I then got my associateship with the SWPP. We were regular nominees in the VOWS Awards, which is Scottish wedding industry, and that's kind of voted on by your clients. So it was, again, very important to push yourself, keep learning, enter competitions, try and get involved in the wedding industry, not just from photography. 2015 we were named in the top 10 of UK's top 50 wedding photographers. Now that is just some editor of some website has picked us out from a crowd and said, yeah, I like this guy's photography, but I'll tell you, I am going to market the hell out of that, right? If somebody puts me in the top 10 of UK's top 50, I am using that and I'm going to stick using that. And people say, oh, you're just blowing your own trumpet. I don't care, right? That's marketing. And if somebody says, yep, he's in the top 50, I'll say, yep, I am. You better believe it. So for me, our USP was our bridal portraits. That was what we sold. Obviously, we shoot a complete wedding from start to finish, and there's lots of candid pictures in there, documentary style. But my thing, what we sold was the bridal portrait, right? It relied on studio quality lighting. So we would actually take little portable studio quality lights with us, and very refined posing, and a particular style of processing. I use the light meter. I use the light meter. It allows you to get things right in camera. It also, most importantly, it lets you slow down and make you stop and think about what you're doing. This click, 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 you know, rapid fire stuff I see people doing. Please just stop, think, look at what your image you're taking, look all the way around the viewfinder. What's in that image? Is it framed? Is the is the composition right? Just stop and think. We would always meter for skin tones, obviously, but always look at getting detail in the wedding dress. If you shoot a wedding dress on a camera on automatic, the wedding dress is going to come out grey. It's not going to come out white, it's going to come out grey, because that's how a camera works, right? It tries to average the exposure, and we don't want to be average photographers, so you got to meter your subjects properly. Our images relied on us darkening the ambient to increase the contrast in the image and create impact. Light creates shadow. You know, to get shadow you need light, right? I'm using a little ring light here. There's a video light for this course, and there'll be a shadow here in my face. That shadow is only there because that light's there, right? Light creates shadow, which creates depth. How did I process our images? Well, we had a kind of little formula that we did. all the basic exposure, white balance, colour, and actual colour styling, which was based on an old film type. It was done in Lightroom. We used Viveza in Photoshop for selective dodging and burning and colour adjustments. Viveza was a wonderful product. You could actually highlight, say on this particular image here, the grass, the green grass behind the bride. I could put a dot on that, a control point on that grass, and then I can just move the control point. It would allow me to lighten or darken all of the kind of green grass around about it. It would do it by colour. A wonderful product. And then we used a product called Topaz Simplify, which fortunately doesn't exist anymore. I think it's Topaz Studio now. They renamed it, but I think you can still get a similar results out of their current products, but they've renamed them. It's a bit of a nuisance. We gave our background a kind of almost watercolor type effect in the background. We'd then mask out the skin, hair and dress, so none of that watercolor effect impacted the actual bridal subject and allowed them to kind of stand out from the scene a bit. And I hope you can see that in that image. So my USP, we called it Weddings with Wow. That was in all our advertising, and it actually came up with a name because I got an email from a bride once. She said to me, I've just shown images to her friends and stuff, and I got an email from one of my friends and it just had one word in it and it said wow. I thought, I like that, Weddings with Wow. So we made that our marketing strapline in 2012 and became our effective USP, and we focused exclusively on that. That was what I was selling. When I was doing the selling, I would show the images and I'd say, that's what I want to do at your wedding. I want an image with you in it like that. I didn't care about the rest of the pictures. All I focused on was these the bridal couple shots. Previously, up to that, I regarded myself as a documentary style photographer. You know, we spoke about that earlier. I was no documentary photographer. Nope. This was what I was good at. And then once you know what your USP, what you're good at, what you can make different for everybody, it will have a huge impact on your marketing and makes closing the sale so much easier. You can then sell your style and you sell your USP. This final one here on screen, again, using that watercolor type effect in the back. Now we even actually, the trees there, we would actually move the trees with the warp tool in Photoshop to make it a much more kind of fairy tale style image. So it's just getting stuff. Your images need to be different from everybody else's. Your work needs to stand out from everybody else. So no matter where you are in your photography career, try and get to the point where you can look at a pile of images and somebody can point it and say, that's an Alan Hutchison image, that's a John Smith image. You know, that's where you want to be. Get your photography, that's your USP. So work in it. Remember, you don't need to be the best photographer in the world. You don't need to be anywhere near the best photographer. Just need to be different and stand out. All right. Well, thanks for sticking with me on this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.